Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So it is daylight, believe it or not, but it's November, so 7 a.m. is still pretty dark. So I've gone ahead and gotten the material leased from the shop that I think I need to do the work here. I don't know if I can put this on the front. I guess we'll find out. Otherwise I may have to go cut the tops and then come back and do the rest. Alright, so it looks like it might work. So it's given me a PTO connection and all that from the front. Why? Oh, because I'm not quite lined up in the back is what my hope is there. There we go. That looks better. So I think we're set. Obviously we're going to have to get down to the field. So as a reminder, we need 61,000 liters. It's going to be very disappointing if I don't get that off this field. But potatoes are pretty crazy plentiful, so I'm hopeful that I have what I need. So I'm going to swing back around this way and come in here, and then we will get ourselves set for the GPS. Whoops, I guess not quite yet. Now we're good. Alright, so my confusion here is it says it's 3 meters, but it's really 1.5 meters is what it told me. So if I go here, you can see the working width is 1.5 meters. I'm thinking it's thinking this is what the auto width is, so I'm going to need to shrink that. Alright, so we're going to unfold stuff here. I think that'll work. I'm going to turn on the topper. If we put the pipe out, that will have things in. I just don't know. It should hold 12,000 liters, I think is what it tells me. Let me switch to the back here. So we want to lower the harvester. And we want to turn on the harvester. And then all of this should hopefully mean that I'll be able to go. Now the challenge here, of course, is that I have no idea if I have a big enough... Yeah, this isn't actually working because at this point I think I'm... Well, it picked it up, but like this halum topper is not doing what I need, so I think I'm gonna, just to be clear, I'm gonna get everything topped first, because I just don't know if it's gonna decrease my harvest, and that's the last thing I want. So let's see, that will probably then be okay at the 3 meters it had. So I'll get that all set up. And this should just kind of, almost like mowing grass, it should basically take the tops off the potatoes and should leave the potato underneath. I mean, the other thing is then I'll have some power that's currently being used to run this, because I'm really worried as I go up the hill here if it's going to work. So I may end up suddenly needing to lease a tractor too, which would be really disappointing because I don't think I'm going to get anywhere near the money I need to do that stuff. As it sits right now, I've already spent 10,000 pounds plus 500 pounds for the halum topper. So I've got 10,500 pounds in here. I don't even think I'm going to get that much in just selling the potatoes, but obviously the bonus is pretty nice for everything, and I would lose that by having one crop that I couldn't do. So I just need to run this across, and we'll see what everything looks like here. Alright, so it looks like I think I can probably get this. I think this is aligned once it changes to the proper distance from the field where it is right to the edge. So I'm going to let that go ahead, and that should work. And so at this point, I'm going to run up and down this field, and this is one of the reasons I got going as early as I did, is I just didn't know what type of hiccups we might run into, given that I am not normally a potato farmer, you know, on the farm here. So I've done potatoes before in other places, but here in jolly old England, you know, this is not a crop Uncle was doing, and so therefore obviously he has no equipment for it. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this topping done, and when that is complete, we'll be back here and we'll continue on. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so we've got this done. Almost 3 hours though. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't need this anymore, so I'm going to return this, and that will at least avoid any further rental cost for that, since I don't need that for the length of time. So this is part of the reason potatoes are a challenge, is they just take a lot of time. I mean, it's 3 hours on a tiny little field like this. You know, good news is we've got 58 liters of 61,000 complete in the equipment here, but what, 61,000? We're going to need over 5 of these harvesters. So let's see. So if I change this, now it says 2 meters, but don't know if it's really going to do what it's supposed to do here. Alright, we've got that. That's down. So the trick is going to be trying to figure out the best way to dig into this. I'm going to want to go along the edge here just so that I don't... so I have some room to turn around. But it's just so hard to tell if you've got everything. Oh, this is even better. So let's see if I lower the pipe, because I really don't need the pipe up. Yeah, I can't tell what, like where it's picking up. Let me zoom in here. Alright, so it looks like it's literally right next to my wheels. Just going to be such a challenge to determine if I've got the field harvested, because if you look back there, like, there's nothing that tells me it's complete. Wow. But yeah, the one thing I did look at was, and yes, I do have the thing floored, but I'm sure it's partially because I'm turning extremely tight. So I think this is going to take me an eternity and a half. But yeah, going across the just the thin end of the field, you know, you can see we're at 1,500. So I'm not sure how much we're going to get here. But looks like we're getting some potatoes. I'm thinking I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and run up and down, otherwise I'm just never gonna have a clue. I mean, I think the little stubs being gone is kind of the biggest indicator, but like, yeah, why we didn't get a lot more, I don't know. Alright, so I'm just gonna try to go this way, see what happens. I'm not gonna get a ton, because basically it's harvesting the little bit over there. So just harvesting a row or two of potatoes at most. But, you know, it's doing a good portion here as far as quantity. But we'll see what a full row looks like, and this is going to be the biggest thing, is climbing up the hill. How slow is it going to get? Because this thing requires 200 horse. Our tractor is 205, so we are literally right up there. Just not sure I'm even going to be able to get all the way up here. And once again, I don't necessarily need to get everything I can off this field, because I just need to hit my number. So as long as I do that, if I need to plow things under, I plow things under. Because once again, it's not as if potatoes are that lucrative. Alright, and so right now, I think I'm going to need to basically come up from the bottom, at least until I get clear of the building at best. I mean, I can go and drive through the bushes and all that, but I'm going to circle around, and, you know, because we've got some settings that kind of let me focus on what I need to, rather than realism, because otherwise, I mean, this would be miserable trying to do potatoes here, to try to not take other crops off. I don't think it would even be possible. Alright, so basically, you know, it's showing it's scooping dirt with potatoes. The dirt's falling out. We have potatoes left. But we'll see how this goes. I guess I probably should have taken a peek in the beginning to see what was, what it started at. So we'll do that next pass, and then once we're done with that, I think I'm going to take the enjoyment for myself, because I think you'll have a pretty good idea of what's happening, and you know, I'll let you know where we're at when we're done. Yeah, we're going so slow that basically the harvester is almost not harvesting anything. Like, it just stopped animating potatoes going up there, because it had, like, dug everything out it could, and then was stuck. Yeah, I just don't know if I'm leaving some potato, because again, that working with is what's confusing me. I am like picking up, whoops, I am picking up the potato harvester and lifting it so that I'm not pulling it while it's trying to go, but just that little bit of hill is a challenge here. Alright, so we basically have 6,000 liters. It took about 30 rows to get across on the GPS with the halum topper, which is what takes the tops off. Now, we're not starting with 1 on the field here, because clearly 6 and 7 and 8. But, you know, given that this is about, let's say 2/3, it's 3 instead of 3 meters, it's 2 meters. You know, and given that little bit that's scooped up, I'm guessing I missed some at the edge, and we probably got some potatoes off the edge of that field there. Just kind of why I was saying I think going across is just not going to work. But that means I probably have at least 50, let's say, 50 rows across. So if we figure out one gives us, you know, will it be 2,000 liters? I'm not sure. But if it is, you know, the hope will be then that I'm going to get 100,000 liters off this field at least. So I should be fine with the 61,000. And because I have nowhere to store it and so forth, I just don't know that I want to do anything other than get what I need and then kind of call this a day, because this is challenging. I think you can see that. It's taking a long time. It's already taken us half an hour just to do this. We've exceeded 8,000 liters. So 8,300, so basically 2,300 liters, unless the yield drops off, which it could. But no reason to suspect it will. But this is what I've got, and it's pretty tedious, but one of our VIPs wants it, so I'm doing what I'm being asked to do because they pay the bills, and they pay pretty handsomely. So as I said, even though these potatoes are probably not going to make that much, it's probably going to be pretty nice with the... Well, I know it will be pretty nice because we're going to get over 150,000 pounds with the VIP bonuses. Alright, so that'll... Whoops, I gotta lower my header. I didn't do that early enough, so let me back up here. Because there may be some potatoes there at the edge. No, doesn't look like there are, but I wouldn't have known if I didn't, and I want to get every little bit I can. So I'm going to keep this up. I'm going to get this done to the point of what I need, and I'll come back then and let you know where we're at. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so I'm going to leave this here. I am down to now the last 1,000 liters. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to go a little past here, past the end of the row, but not much. And at this point, now that I'm clear of the building, I've been circling a little bit for the last 3 or 4 rows. So, you know, not been quite as much as we were getting on the other end. I don't think I'm getting 2,300 anymore, but it's pretty close. So, but you can see I've got, you know, a little bit here, so I'll kind of figure out where I want to get to and then just stop. I'll probably just let it get to 1,000 and maybe stop at that point, and we'll probably end up with almost 1,200 anyway. Just get to the bottom of the hill so it's easier, although I guess it's going to be easy either way because I'm just going to send that thing back. So, you know, we're probably talking another 20,000 liters at most. So we're not going to end up with 100,000 we thought, but you know, it's going to be a pretty good amount of potatoes anyway. The most important thing is we got what we needed done. So we've got to deliver this to Moondogs. I've already delivered one trailer full of 40,000, so I'm down to the 21,000 here, and obviously I've got a little extra, so I'll just obviously get that cash as well, but you know, it's not like it's going to hurt anything to go over. At this point, though, I'm going to go ahead and actually return this so that we're not incurring any more leasing. So you can see it still cost us 4,305 pounds just for the hours we had. So just was trying to keep that as low as possible. And given that it takes a little while to get to the delivery point, you know, it could be another half hour or something, or an hour before I get back. But I'll see you when I get to Moondogs. Pulling up here to Moondogs, so as you can see, it took about 15 minutes to get here, so definitely a good amount of time goes by. These potatoes are pretty heavy. We've got to deliver it here in the middle. It won't go through the grate. So this will get us 3 out of our 4 level 7 orders complete. So let's see where we're at here. So 13,000 plus the 1,000 bonus. So again, we get, you know, a little over 500. It's actually quite good for potatoes, but I think some of it has to do with the difficulty level. So the last thing I've got is to get the grass delivered. So I'm gonna get back there, and we're gonna pick that up and see if we can get this all completed today and move on to the next level of orders and start planning ahead for that. So see you in a bit. So running late into the night here, 32,999, so basically 33,000 is what I need here. So we're going to set that. And I'm going to get myself back to my farm. Back on the farm, getting ready to pick up where I left off. So I'm going to go ahead and lower my pickup head down, and we'll go ahead and get the edge here. So as you can tell, I've obviously had to do the grass work, which is how I've gotten so late into the evening here, because I had to mow and windrow, and then obviously now I'm finally able to pick things up. So my goal, though, was to satisfy the VIP orders before the day ran out so that I can start fresh tomorrow with a new set of orders and see what they want at that point and how I'm going to work things. So I think we're going to be on to our next group of sugarcane, which is going to then likely change that out on the farm, because just like the potatoes, I'm probably just going to go ahead, get what I need, and then we'll end up plowing that under and putting something else in its place. Alright. So I think, yeah, I'm going to circle around this way. So as you can see there, I've also just kind of rounded off the corners. I know I can't pick up that grass. I think there's some grass sitting in that grass there that is stuff I wasn't able to get off the field because it gets the I don't own it situation where my neighbor's all upset that I'm potentially dragging some of his output out. So we've agreed I won't pick that up, and I've been unable to do so because of that. Trying to at least do this in a little semblance of... not sure that this is going to do exactly what I wanted, but we'll see. It may, but just trying to get what was the second headrow around, or headland. Alright, looks like I'm still gonna grab this, which is all well and good. And I may just go ahead and cycle around so that I kind of clean this up as I go. Although we're getting close to what I need off the field, but I just wanted to make sure you were aware of kind of what I did here. It's not really fun going up there, at least I didn't get hung up, but we'll just again clean this up here. Looks like I'm probably too high up, or maybe it was just a little bit. Yeah, I guess it was just a little tiny piece of output there, and it didn't take it. And of course, oh no, it didn't grab it, so I'd have to come at it from another angle. I'll worry about these pieces later. I think I missed some there. Oh, amazingly, I didn't. Not sure that this row is going to give me enough here, but again, this is part of, oh yeah, it will. This is part of the second pass around the field I did to give myself some room, so we've got plenty of grass left. But one of the other things I've been trying to figure out as I start to run low on silage in my bunker is, I've heard about these alternatives that one of my neighbors told me about for fermenting things, a fermenting silo that will avoid me having to do compaction and covering and scooping and all that. So I may look into that as I go forward, but I want to see what my next order is going to be and what our need for dairy is in the short term, because otherwise I may wait a little bit. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'm trying to give myself some simplification of tasks now that I have a good amount of money, because we're going to get about 150,000 pounds from the VIPs here once I get this last order of grass delivered. So we're going to be over 500,000 pounds again, so this will be great. But I'll see you in a minute. Not too terribly late here, but just a little after 9 o'clock on a fall evening as we pull in here to get our last grass load delivered to the livestock group here. Alright, so let us see what we've got. We'll get all this completed. Alright, and there is level 8. And our 156,000, so as I said, 538,063. So I am going to get myself back to the farm, get to bed, and I hope you've enjoyed our experience through level 7, and we'll pick up with the level 8 orders in the morning. I'll see you next time.